Hello, guys. It's been a while since we've done this. It feels like, you're not paying much attention to our relationship anymore. Is it me? Is it you? I don't know. All I know is today we're making a new sound. Future House. Alright, guys. So, I was hearing the song by, I forgot that guy's name already. Gregor Salto, whatever you want to call that guy from Brazil, I guess. He's more known for that music that uses a lot of drum samples. Dun, 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 dun. However, he made a song that's pretty catchy. This is the melody for it. So it might not be the exact melody. I missed some couple of notes, but this is the Samuel version of it. So I don't get sued or anything. But I kind of just want to show you guys how I would go in making that lead that he has. Again, this is my first time trying to make it, so I kind of have a sense of how to do it already. So let's get to it. All right, guys. So we can go a few ways with this one, since that sound is mainly made via filtering, enveloping. What that means is we just have a filter and we're gonna route an envelope to it to open it up really fast, and it's gonna give us that punch. You can go a few different ways to get different textures from your sound, but the way we're gonna approach this is gonna be with a sine wave. We're gonna put 8 voices. We want to leave the retrig on whenever we use a sine. Why? Because if we turn that shit off, what's gonna happen is the sine wave's gonna start bouncing from left to right, and that's gonna be due to just the wavetable. So right now this sounds like, I'm gonna lower it down 2 octaves. So right there, that's where the sub sounds the best. So we're gonna leave it there and see what happens. Now, next thing I'm gonna do is no sustain, a little bit of envelopes. And you can see we added decay there, and that kind of gives it a little bit more punch because there's no more sustain. Since there's no more like me keeping my voice, I can just be like, so hopefully I didn't scare you, but you kind of get the idea. It's like when you go, but when you go like really fast, you can get more power out of it. So it's the same kind of concept. Now I know I explain things a bit weird, but you get it when I do it. So yeah. So the higher we go in decay time, the more power we lose. Because there's more decay time, it takes a little bit longer for the sine to come out. Now the power loss is very, very minimal. However, you want to keep as much as you can from it. So we don't really need that much decay time for this sound. It's very sharp, it's very sudden, it's very plucky, it's very boom. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a filter on this. And we want to cover it to where we can barely hear it. Like around there should be fine. We're going to open it up. We cut off AB to the right. Okay, we want to open it. That should be fine. Now we're going to do a pitch A envelope. This is going to give it a lot of punchiness. We're going to open it more. Okay, add a bit of resonance. And drive to make it louder. Can make it higher octave. We're gonna lose a lot of low end though, if you can tell. So if you're gonna be using this sound in the second octaves or wherever you put it, if it sounds like this, you're definitely gonna need a sub. Here you're not. Alright, other things you can do is apply some sort of distortion, but not too much. Now we want to be careful not to make something that's going to have a lot of low end to it, because then it's going to really fuck your mixes up. And especially if you don't know how to process low end, we don't want to create that much of it. So we got to be careful in approaching this sound. Like my speakers right now, when it gets to the bottom at D, that's when it starts to kind of give out and you hear the woofer kind of, it sounds very, very messy. So that's my key to, okay, it's too fucking loud. And there we have it. That's the way we should have it. Apply some reverb, but not too much. No reverb at all. It kind of ruins it. Okay, let's see what else we can do with this. So we can see there, different distortion amounts is going to give us a little bit of a different effects. Now, every distortion is going to affect waves differently. One of the cool things about a sine wave is that all of these effects turn it into a different wavetable. So using these distortions, you can kind of get a hybrid of like a sine and a saw, a sine and a square, and so forth. So you can do this to almost any other sound as well. As you guys can see, we can get so many cool things here. Now, remember when I told you guys you can go different ways with this, like change the wavetables? Like, these are the different examples. Now, if we lower the cutoff, that's going to allow us to kind of use different wavetables, but still kind of make them sound very, very punchy and very kind of sine-ish sounding, because the filter is covering it. And if we're not opening the filter all the way and we're just opening halfway, just imagine an EQ8, like just pretty much this is what's happening. When we put an envelope, like a low pass on it or something, high pass, pretty much what we're doing is we're covering it up. So when we apply one of these envelopes, pretty much the attack time is gonna decide how long it takes for this to get to our sustain value. If our sustain value is at 0, the attack is gonna get to the decay time setting, which could be set to here, to how much we put on the black knob here. So if our decay time is pretty much really fast and our value of the black one is not all the way open, what's happening is pretty much just the decay time is going to activate, the attack's going to go there. Decay time instantly happens, and since our sustain is set to 0, decay time pretty much decides how long it takes for the volume to go down, or the value to go down to the sustain value. So let's say we put this in numerical format. Imagine we have the sustain value set to 50. So then pretty much we have our decay time set really high. What that's going to happen is the attack's going to get to the decay time. So the attack's going to go up to a value, let's say 70. Decay time is going to decide how long it takes for that number to go down to 50. And then the release time is going to decide how long it takes for that number to go down to 0, or the original value. I think I made it more complicated, but you know, this is all that's happening pretty much. Boom, boom, boom. If we don't open it up all the way, it's not going to go like that. It's going to be boom, boom. So we're only going to get these frequencies here. So if you guys hear it now, as you can see, now if we use a triangle, we get more of a sinus type square. And the only time you hear a change is when you open the filter up a bit more to let some of those higher frequencies out, which is then going to tell you what the sound is and so forth. So as you guys can see, we can go very many different ways with this, but it's a very cool sound. And then some distortion. So yeah, this is pretty much, I would consider it a standard future house kind of sound. It's very, very hard hitting. It sounds like a fucking, I don't know how to explain the sound, to be honest, but I don't know. If I were to think of it, it would be some fat guy hitting some type of drum, dun dun dun, that has some tonality to it. Okay, guys. So review before we end the video. We used the sine wave. We lowered the sustain time because we wanted just decay time. If a sound doesn't go on forever when you hold it, then there is no need to have a lot of sustain, like high sustain. So we lowered sustain time. We used a filter and envelope modulation in order to get it to punch, and then we use some pitch modulation to get it to punch even harder. Pitch modulation is the reason why kicks sound the way they do. The click is usually made through pitch envelopes, which we did on mod envelope 2 here. We had applied different types of distortions, which again, remember, alters the waves in different ways to get, you know, different types of textures and sounds out of them. We EQ'd it a bit, even though it wasn't necessary, and a little bit of compression turned on with the default value should be fine. Increase the main volume just to get that sound to come out more, since lower frequencies need to be put at higher volumes for them to be more audible. And that's pretty much it, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It was a very simple one, but just like everything else, guys, production is not that difficult. It's a lot of simple techniques that you have to learn how to put together in order to create a song. All right, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to hit like, leave a comment, subscribe, and peace out.